Hey guys, Sheila Zelghi here. I'm with Mr. John Walton, the voice of the Capitals. We're here at the Medstar Iceplex, home of the NHL Stanley Cup winning team, the Washington Capitals. Mr. Walton, how are you? Thanks for being here today.
I'm terrific, and I will never get tired of hearing Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals.
Awesome, and I won't ever stop saying that either. So, first things first, you were the first to announce DC as the Stanley Cup champions. What has this year been like for you?
It's been an incredible year, Sheila. I mean, I think when this team hit the ice at the beginning of last season, it was thought to be a year of transition, and it turned out to be the greatest season in the 44-year history of the franchise.
Wow.
And the way that this city backed this team, they embraced them down the stretch through the playoffs and ultimately to a championship. 500,000 people coming out to the mall back in June for the rally and the parade. I'll never forget it. It was really special. To be able to be a part of something like that, that's what you dream of. As a broadcaster who wanted to do hockey his entire life, that's the moment that you want, and I'm glad and just honored that I had the chance to do that for this team.
Unforgettable.
Yeah, unforgettable is the word. I mean, I think that when you have something that big happening and you have a team that had for years found new and interesting ways to get bounced from the playoffs and not get all the way, it was neat to see them finally break through.
One thing I'd like to talk about is I'd love to learn about your background and how you got here, how you became the voice for the Stanley Cup winning team.
It's a geography challenged route, to be sure. Hershey, Pennsylvania is where I came from. I was there with the Washington Caps minor league affiliate there in Hershey for 9 years. I was in Cincinnati before that. I was a public address announcer for the Cincinnati Reds. I did hockey in Ohio as well. But I actually have DC ties. My grandfather was in the Air Force and was at the Pentagon in the 60s, and my mother went to high school here. So
awesome.
Even though I had not lived in DC until 2011, I'd been here as a kid on field trips just like anyone else. But I like to think that I've got a little bit of a tie here myself that goes back a ways.
So, Forbes magazine named the Washington Capitals they said it's a story of global ties and immigration. 20 out of the 27 players on this team are immigrants, which I find inspiring because I myself am an immigrant. So what can you share about the team and how it embodies the American dream?
Well, there's a lot of different languages in there. I mean, the American dream is about immigration and guys that come from all over the planet. I mean, we have a number of Russians, most notably Alex Ovechkin, but we have others, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Dmitry Orlov. We have Lars Eller from Denmark. We do have a few Americans and Canadians on the team, but Nick Backstrom is from Sweden. You have a lot of different cultures coming together in one locker room, and the love of the game, the passion for the sport. There are a lot of different languages spoken in this room. When I walk out, I mean, as you know, an English-speaking American anywhere in DC, I mean, that's not hard to find. In the locker room and here, it's a lot of the guys speak English, but a lot of time they speak in their own language too. And I think it's important to be, exposed to different cultures and different ways of approaching things. And sometimes, in the context of the locker room, I mean, emotions run high, but these guys, they find a way to, not only get along, but achieve a common goal. And winning the Stanley Cup certainly is that. And, the fact that you can come together and do what this team did as a group from guys who are literally from all over the planet, that's a special thing.
So, final question. I'm a realtor by trade, and I get asked a lot of times, what's the best location? So why is DC the best location for an NHL franchise? Well,
from me, in a personal standpoint, I mean, DC is the greatest city in the world. I think it's world class in every way, whether it's food or culture or, experiences that you can have here that you're not going to have anywhere else. And I think the longer that you live here, you know that. But I think from a hockey standpoint, I mean, I know driving into the city, and I crank up the music in the car, and I love driving into the city on game days. And, I think, whether it's, an event at the Kennedy Center or a concert or you name it, I mean, anything political, of course, but I mean, it just has a vibe all its own. And I think for hockey, they embrace this team and this city because of what they did this year, but I think for a long time. I think the sport is captivating. I think the Caps are a good story, especially this year. You know, they took 44 years to finally
Wow.
break through, but you know, the growth of the game, and I think just, you know, this city loves the Caps, and the Caps love them back. And I think they're some of the most personable athletes in our city. And I think they feel that relationship even through social media, even through, you know, appearances. Every practice in this building is free and open to the public. So you'll have hundreds of fans who are here every day because it's free and they can come see their guys up close. And, you know, I think that relationship means a lot.
And they're the Stanley Cup champions.
I'll never get tired of hearing that.
Right, exactly. And I don't think I'll ever get tired of saying that. So
Yeah, it's an amazing thing that's happened here, and hopefully they just build on it, and hopefully we can do it again.
yes, fingers crossed. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Walton, for being here with us today and being a part of the American Dream.